Hello everyone, welcome back to Tea Time channel. And today we have a talk show with Mr Manuel as usual. And we would like to talk about the topic and because that word is coming up into my mind about bravery. Bravery. So because the reason why that idea get into my mind because right now as I told you guys that I'm changing a lot. And that's why I decided to launch my YouTube channel officially. And I want to get rid of most of my anxiety. And I think because my channel with the letter T is also about the tooth too. When I was me in the past, I really like, should I say this? Should I say that? So people they will trust it or not. So I worry too much. And now and I also worry that if I do this, do that, am I destroying my reputation in community? But I think to be honest, don't have a lot of people care about somebody's reputation like that person talk about it. And now if I think that it's a good topic to talk about, it's a honest conversation between two people, which between some people, or even in my talk show with Mr. Manuel, we discuss many topics. But I think I am more brave to do things, to make mistakes, and even to destroy something that I think is not impact to other people. Like if I do things, but it have kind of side effects that it will damage some of my stuff, like my reputation, my image, whether a fake one or something. And if I think, it's worth it to post this video on YouTube, to at least I can talk to myself that I brave enough to live a life that I really want to live, instead of live a life that want to please all people, because I know it's impossible. It's impossible to please all people in over the world. And somehow some people they will have different mindsets from you, so they will argue with you something, they will disagree with you or something. So anyway, have some people like this. So why we need to stop ourselves from saying or from doing the thing that we think that it's a right thing to do, or at least it's a thing that we need to desire to do, right? So that's why I created my YouTube channel, and I don't feel really worried if I post some video with my wrong pronunciation, I have a bad expression in that video. So no, I don't mind about that at all. So if some people they say, Mr. Manuel correct me, and I correct it, I fix it. So why we need to worry about that? Because before some people stop you, you stop yourself first. And I don't want to have that feeling anymore. Right, Mr. Manuel? So how do you think? How do you think about bravery?
Well, I've listened to all of what you just said, and how it relates to yourself. And I think people have to be brave to accomplish many things. You talk about doing the right thing, and sometimes the right thing is not the popular thing. And many people through history, I think, writers and philosophers and people who are well known will say that that you can't worry too much about that part of it if you are if you're going to be truthful and loyal to yourself. Like it kind of goes with it. Most people, I think, and I know I'm generalizing, but for people, sometimes the people who think outside the box are the people who make change or create progress. And if you think outside the box, there's a lot of people inside the box sometimes who are who may be holding you back. And people like going back as far as as Socrates, the Greek philosophers,
Galileo
said such things. Galileo is a perfect example. When Galileo knew in his intelligent brain at the time, he knew the fact that the geocentric theory, which was that the sun went around the earth, was incorrect. He could see it. He had a telescope. He invented a telescope. And he knew from his mathematical calculations and so on that the heliocentric theory was the correct theory, and that is that the earth goes around the sun. And he was persecuted for that. He was damn near killed. He was put in prison, especially the church people of the day, because what he was saying, as far as they were concerned, was counter to what God's book said. So he was going against God. So they said, something got to be done about that. God wants us to do something about that. So it's pretty tough when you're up against God. And so therefore, he was trying to promote scientific knowledge, and people resisted. And he's not the only one. Bob Dylan, in one of his songs, talks about the very same thing about people. You're trying to get out of a hole, and people just keep trying to pull you back. And I forget the name of that song, but to keep you back in the hole that they're in. And to get back to the point about bravery. I think if you think about some of the heroes that you may have, or people that you respect, or people that you just acknowledge for things that they have done, they did that. They were brave. They were brave because they had a lot of resistance. They weren't trying to be popular. They were following their heart. They were. You think back to the explorers who traveled up into the north, where everything was frozen land, and the people who went with them, people like Henry Hudson and Martin Frobisher and others who have done the same thing. Many of them died, in their quests, or even astronauts going into space. The same thing. Many of them died. There's a lot of, they were certainly braver than I am, put it that way. Now I know they are trained, and in the case of astronauts, they have confidence in the technology, and they believe that in what they're doing, and they are, as I say, they don't think there's anything's going to go wrong. But at the same time, that little voice must be there in their head, telling them, it's possible. It's possible. And many of them have lost their lives because of it. And, so to get, as I say, to expand a little bit more on the point, I think bravery is a wonderful quality. and some people have it and some people don't, and well, maybe it's not a question of saying having it or not having it. It's that maybe we all have it to certain degrees, but there are people who actually put their lives on the line to save other people, or to because they do what they believe they should do, and our lives are all we have, So when people talk about in war, when the most precious gift we have is our lives, and when you sacrifice that for a person or a cause, there's not much more that you can do or give.
Yeah.
Than that.
Yeah, because while you are talking, so because you say that some people have bravery and some people don't, and just have in my mind is that come up with two reasons why some people they have and some people they don't. Because the first reason is because we know that you just brave if you are willing to pay the price. And some people, they don't willing to pay that price. So they think, no, I will not do that.
Yeah.
I want to keep whatever I'm having now.
Yes.
Because if I braver to do that kind of action, maybe it will make me lose everything that I am having now.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons about be willing to pay the price or not.
Yes.
And the second reason is following your heart. So, do you really desire to do that? If you don't really desire to do that, so you will not have a strong power or a strong obsession to do it. So, two things just came up into my mind about that.
Yes.
So probably those, from my opinion, those reasons, it will make people, they have some decision that they will take action or they just keep silent.
Yes. Well, most of us want a comfortable life. We want a comfortable life. A lot of the inventions that we have created are all designed to give us a comfortable life. When you look around at all the different things in our technology, it's all designed to I was going to say make us lazy, but it's not so much that. It's just that if you can think of an easier way to do something, what we call modern conveniences. If we can think of an easier way to do something, then we'd kind of be a fool not to do it. If you can, why would you do something the hard way if you can do it the easy way? So I think a lot of our the inventions we have and the progress we've made in science and technology is designed to make our lives easier, more comfortable. So we want a comfortable life. And, I think back to examples that I have seen in history. And you think about in Nazi Germany, when Adolf Hitler was in control of Germany during the 30s and 40s, and started the Second World War because he wanted to dominate Europe. Well, he wanted to dominate the world probably, but certainly Europe, because that was his neighbors, that were his neighbors, and his policies and the effect that he had on so many people, millions of people, millions of people who died because of him and his policies and campaigns. And you think about somebody living in Germany at the time who was a decent person and knew that the things that Hitler and his crowd were doing were wrong, and that they were inflicting misery and pain and death on so many people. And if you are a person living in Germany at that time and you see all of this, are you going to try to stand up against him and against his, his murderer accomplices? And the majority of people will say no, because they don't want the SS to come and arrest them in the middle of the night and take them off on a train, if they're lucky, and put them in a camp somewhere, rather than just shoot them outright. And then, not only that, but to bring all this misery upon their families, because in many cases these tyrants will do that. You hear stories about Kim Jong-un in North Korea, where he's not satisfied to just eliminate somebody who's against him. He wants to wipe out their whole family for generations. And Hitler was much the same. So who is going to stand up against him? Knowing that it would mean misery and probably certain death to them, and to bring all this onto their families and friends too. Like there are people who did. There were a lot of people who did, and they paid. They paid the price. They paid the price, but they were brave, and they stood up for what they believed. But unfortunately, they lost like we said, their most precious gift. They lost their lives and the lives of their families and their children. My God, who would think about doing that to your children? To try for a cause, and you say, "Oh, why am I doing that?" "Oh, I'm doing that because I don't believe that the government is," because you call them the government, even though it's a pretty crude government, but to say I'm doing this for a cause, and you're bringing all this misery upon your family, and oh boy, we talk about a dilemma. I mean. And I think, well, that's one of the reasons, I think, and I think historians agree, why Hitler could have so much power, is that the people did not try to resist him, because they knew that he had so much control and that he was so cruel to everybody around him, especially the races that he didn't particularly agree with or want to see survive. And so, although, there seems to be a lot of people, though, who agreed with him, too, and were quite happy to do the things that he wanted done. There were a lot of them, too. But a lot of it was built upon fear. And, and fear is the opposite of bravery.
Yeah, so the reason why I need to move the iPad close to Mr. Manuel, because my voice naturally is really loud. So, but his voice is more gentle than me, so more soft than me. So I don't like you guys watching the video when my part is really loud. You need to turn down the volume, and with his voice you need to make it up. But anyway, bravery in war, like, because it impact to your life. So somebody will kill you, especially in a cruel environment. So if you're against the environment, probably they will kill you. So it's really intensive level. Really intensive level. But like
an extreme example.
Yeah.
Perhaps. An extreme example.
An extreme example. Yeah. But like with our peaceful society right now, so like I know that some countries they're having war right now, but most of countries in the world, they are living in a peaceful condition. So, and especially with our youth, like young people. We mentioned I would like to bring this topic today because with young people, bravery also impact to their decision that whether they do something for their life or they get stuck in their life for like for their whole life without taking any action to change, like because like in a current peaceful society, bravery is mostly about taking action. If you are afraid of something, it should happen in future, so you are become the first person who stop you before other people stop you. So you need to overcome yourself first. And after that you will face with other people. Some people they against you, against your opinion or against your idea about making things, like create a business with your great idea, or they say that it's a bad idea to go with. But to me, overcome that fear is called bravery.
Oh yes, certainly.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, because I shouldn't take my personal case too much, but like with the YouTuber, with the YouTube channel, it's also kind of my bravery. And to come to Canada is kind of bravery.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so to come, like to get out my small province to go into a bigger city in Vietnam to study is kind of my bravery too. And so that is my point is bravery is have variety of definition. It depends on each people, and if as long as they can take action that they used to have that fear before to stop them in the history. So right now they decide to take action instead of delay it anymore. It's kind of bravery from my opinion, from my current cases.
Yes. Well, it takes many different forms and can be applied to many different situations. If you believe, part of it I think has to do with like self-belief, or like being a kind of confidence that you could actually accomplish what's in your mind that you want to do. So that certainly requires a certain level of bravery to pursue something like that, depending on the goal. I guess a lot of people don't, they give up, they think that the road is too long or too hard for them to achieve what's in their minds. So yeah, you have to have a certain level of bravery, I think, to achieve a lot of the goals that we have. And it's not easy, it's not easy. You take an example of a kid at school who's being bullied all the time, and people may say to him, well, stand up for yourself, like be brave, stand up for yourself. But in a lot of cases, he knows that if he tries to stand up and fight for himself, it'll be worse. The situation will probably get worse, and he doesn't want that. It will escalate, and so sometimes talk is cheap. It's easy for an older person, perhaps a teacher, a guidance counselor, a parent, or whoever it might be, to say to him, fight back or stand up for yourself or something like that. but in reality, that's not a realistic choice.
See, again, it makes me think about the different definition about bravery. Like with the teacher, they say that you need to stand up to yourself. It's kind of bravery. But with student, they say to protect yourself is also a kind of bravery. That you don't need to face to think that it will beat you up. So different mindset about one thing, it will cause us have different action, and judgment come from that different mindset too.
Well, yes. I think we'd all like to see kids who are being bullied stand up for themselves, and because a lot of times bullies are just cowards anyway. But they, they're reluctant to do it because, like as I said, they think it'll just make things worse. And it's not just kids at school like this. I think it's adults too. Who once again I go back to it that we want a comfortable life. We want peace. We don't want to have. We don't want to have arguments with people, and we don't want.
So it means we don't have a person who usually would like to have a challenge in life. They are more brave.
Well, yes.
More braver. Do you think so?
Yes, definitely. If you're prepared to face challenges, that comes along with a measure of bravery. Definitely. And it's true in certain professions. It's true in some of the professions we've mentioned about, an astronaut or a surgeon or some of the people who are in very high level or dangerous positions, like in the military and so on. Like these people. It's not for everyone. And many people will tell you that. And what they're really saying is that I don't have the guts to do it. Right?
I don't have a gut to do it.
I don't have the guts to do it. I don't have the bravery required to do it. So
I don't have a guts to do it. That is a good expression.
Well, it's a very common one. Yeah, and they say I don't have the guts to do it. The intestinal fortitude to do it. And so, as I mentioned before, I think it's just now people can be brave in many different ways. I mean, somebody who jumps into the water to save a struggling child who can't swim. I mean, he's brave. He's brave to do it. And a lot of cases, the person who jumps into water loses his life too. I know of several examples of that. But they can't just watch them. They have to try, And sometimes that's impulsive, and I guess it's a big mistake. If it's impossible for you to save the person, you're just giving up your life for nothing. But they try anyway, I know of a couple of cases like this.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of a, it's a sad thing, but it's what people feel they have to do.
So, like to jump into the water to save people. So, those people, they didn't think twice.
No.
It means they was following the heart.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Well, some people will do that and some will not,
Because they think twice.
Yeah.
They think, wait a minute, what happened if I jump into the aggressive water level like this? So what happened to my life? And how about my family? How about my child? Stop.
Yes.
All the stop them before they take action.
Yes. Yeah. But in many cases, like you say, it's impulsive. They don't have time to think about any of that. They just see the person in danger and they want to help them, And it's like sometimes in the army when you hear about a person who, a soldier, somebody throws a grenade, a grenade, like a little bomb, and they throw it near you, and maybe if it goes off, everybody will die. So they throw themselves on top of the grenade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And of course they died.
They kill themselves.
They kill themselves, yes, but they save the people around them. And there's been cases of that happening.
Right.
You know? And so it's so much that it's become an expression, you know, where people say, yeah, I'd throw myself on a grenade for him or her or something like that, you know. But it requires, once again, you know, it requires an incredible amount of bravery to do something like that. Or if one of your soldier friends are injured, you know, maybe they got shot on the battlefield, and you go to them to try to save them, you know, to the medics they call them, or even just an ordinary soldier, just to go and try to get them and bring them back so they can get treated, you know, and they get shot too, you know. So there's lots of instances of bravery, and some of it is impulsive, where the person just does it because it's an emergency kind of situation. It's urgent. Spontaneous. Yeah, you remember. Spontaneous action.
Without thinking.
Without thinking, yes. That's exactly what it is. And there are many other cases, of course, where people labor over big decisions that they make, and that requires bravery too.
That's right.
So yes, and you know, even artists, like musicians, you know, they require a certain amount of bravery too, you know, in order to, especially if they're doing something new that nobody has ever really seen before, or you know, they want to express themselves in that way, and they know a lot of people will laugh at them and ridicule them and so on, but then they say, oh, they don't care. They say, well, this is what I want to do, you know, and so they go about they go about their business, and they create something new and interesting in a lot of cases.
Yeah, that's right.
You know.
Yeah, so we have a good talk about bravery, and I really liked this topic because it gives me have more motivation, more energy to get out my fear, to do more stuff. And in conclusion, I just would like to mention again, to emphasize again, like bravery is mean that you can take action, but those actions it will not hurt other people or hurt yourself. I mean, hurt yourself with a negative ways, like get drunk, using heroin, or kill yourself, hurt yourself by anything. To me, bravery is just like a willing mindset to do things, like, and you don't really worry too much about other people judgment. Yeah. So just live your life as much as possible with a positive way with many understanding from that. But I believe that you guys understand about the meaning of positive in here, and that's really a good topic to talk about. Okay, thank you so much for watching.